Yo, what's going on, and welcome back to Destiny 2 Forsaken, and today we are looking at the new Gunslinger tree, Way of 1,000 Cuts. This new skill tree is possibly the best hunter skill tree they have added to the game so far. So let's take a look at it. Now, your super is going to be changed to Blade Barrage, which is going to cause your character to vault in the air and throw 2 waves of explosive knives down at your enemies. These knives deal a lot of damage and actually get even crazier if you have the exotic for this. But unfortunately I don't, but that's definitely the thing I'm hunting for at the moment, because you just get to shoot off supers like crazy, and this super is so good and so fun. But moving on to the next abilities, your throwing knife is now replaced with 3 knives that you throw, and they kind of fan out as it says, and they will light people on fire. Now, this ability isn't that great until you put in the other abilities here. When you light an enemy on fire and it dies, you get something called Playing with Fire, and it can stack up to 3 times. And this is going to increase the rate at which you get your knife trick up here back. And this is where you can start to see the combos emerging, because it's about a 15-second timer that you have this thing for, and every time you kill a new burning target, it not only increases the stack of it by 1, so you're getting a faster cooldown, but it resets that timer. So if you're at 1 and you're down to say like 5 seconds, you kill something else, it now goes to ×2 and the timer is reset to 15 seconds. And then with Burning Edge here, burning enemies are actually going to regenerate your dodge as well. And the longer an enemy burns, the more your dodge is going to come back from this. And again, I'm using the dodge ability that replenishes your melee immediately. So if I light something on fire, then I can dodge, get my knives back immediately. That entire time the thing is on fire, my dodge is going to be coming back very quickly, and class abilities don't have a long cooldown, so it comes back really fast. And I did this with the 6th Coyote as well, having 2 dodge abilities. You are constantly spamming out abilities, and it is so much fun. I've lately been using the Swarm Grenade because I kind of like how the grenade works. But Incendiary Grenade works even better with this combo because you also light things on fire with it. And this gets crazy. You can see how this class all just works together, and it's super fun to just combo everything. The class just flows really nicely because all of the abilities work together. And that is something that hunters really needed, I feel like. Either way, we've talked about it. Let's see it in action. So first, let's take a look at Knife Trick and Playing with Fire. Here we're going to start by clearing out ads with the Knife Trick, and that is actually going to start stacking Playing with Fire. As you can see, the timer is so long that even though I mess it up right here, I'm able to run over to the next group of enemies and actually just reset it completely. And once we get to this point, our melee cooldown is about 4 seconds. You can see once we get a kill with it, it starts at 15, and right before it gets to 11, we have our melee back. And next here, we are going to look at the Burning Edge. Now, even though this guy is immune, it is still going to light him on fire. And you can see just how low the cooldown on our class ability is. It's going to allow us to keep dodging repeatedly, and dodging near enemies is going to automatically reset our melee, which we can then use to light them on fire again. And finally, we'll look at the super here. We're going to use our full basic combo. and then go into a single target damage super, and we can see just how much this actually does. That was like half of his health just gone. But to demonstrate the 2 waves of knives, we can actually throw one to the left and one to the right there. So, what are my thoughts on Way of 1,000 Cuts? As I mentioned before, I think this is possibly one of the best hunter subclasses in the game. When it comes to just doing random activities out in the world or doing strikes or anything, this class is really fun to play. All the abilities work together nicely, and the super does a good amount of damage for using it to create orbs, for doing boss damage, really anything you could ask for. When it comes to PvP, I think this is going to be my go-to hunter subclass because it is so good at getting those multi-kills or shutting down other supers. I don't think any super can compete with this. If someone is coming at you with hammers, you could just panic super and kill them almost immediately. And there's very little they can do about it. There's almost no outplay to this super because the knives kind of track and they do a whole lot of damage. So even if there's someone behind the hammer, they're probably also going to die in the collateral because this super is just so strong. Now, it's not a roaming super, so you miss out on that, but you're very good at killing large groups, and shutting down supers is more valuable than people often think. Other than that, my main go-to subclass is usually Night Stalker for PvE activities, but I've started to throw this one into the mix more, and as you become more confident in what you're doing, such as raid parts and the like, you can actually use higher damage subclasses more effectively than using something defensive such as Tether. So I definitely like to use this subclass in everything. I'm not going to completely drop Night Stalker because that is one of my original favorites, but this class has definitely made it up there and is one of my most played subclasses now. Either way, hopefully you found this all useful. I would definitely recommend, if you don't have all your Seeds of Light, getting this Gunslinger one as one of the first few because you are going to like it a lot. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.